Every now and again, I search the internet for some strange and unusual golf clubs. You know, everybody needs a hobby. And this came up as Amazon's #1 selling driver, and therefore one of the best-selling drivers in the world. But the more I looked at this particular driver, the more murky the story became. So stay tuned for why this is a very controversial driver. First of all, the box it came in was ridiculous. It came to my house and even Murph was confused about the actual size of this thing. Surely they can find a club box.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Anyway, it's called the Mazzell Titanium Driver, which was mine for £110. Now, for a new driver at that price, if it performs, that's good value. However, at this price point, there are a lot of amazing second-hand drivers that you can get from really established brands. Into the video for the most important part of getting a new club. In all fairness, I made a bit of a mess of that, but still satisfying. So we'll get the data from the Mazzell driver now. Just to warn you, I've already taken this out on the course and it sounded interesting. So what it's gonna be like in an enclosed room, do you think I need to get you to sign a waiver, Jacob? Yeah, I reckon they'll come in from next door. So this driver is a 10.5 degree 460cc head. It's got a regular graphite shaft, a Mazzell own brand one, and a normal grip. And I'm gonna test it up against a premium driver with exactly those specs. So we'll see how close it comes to a really top driver. I'm so nervous. I've just hit a massive slice there as well. That's so bad. So for looks, I'm not actually a massive fan of an all-white club head. I really like the split, let's say in an M1 driver of old. That black and white contrast is really nice, but an all-white driver, I don't know, it just looks a bit cheap. Even when TaylorMade brought out their RBZ stuff, I was never massively keen. A little bit straighter. There are some features, so it's got this back weight, it's got this little bit of milled steel, I imagine, in the middle, but I don't really know how much effect they're going to be having on performance. I don't know if they're just cosmetic. And the whole look of this, it's just a bit cheap. Now, obviously, we're only paying £100 for this, so, you know, I'm not expecting this to be a piece of art. But yeah, it's just a bit, like maybe because it is all white, it does look gigantic. Behind the ball. Now, if you're not confident with a driver, this could be a good thing because it doesn't look like a 460cc driver. I don't know, it looks like a beluga whale. That's the white whale, isn't it? A beluga. This is a big beluga on the end of a stick. That's a massive slice, jeez. Now, sound and feel wise on this, sound, let's be honest, is horrendous, but feel wise, actually not bad. It does feel springy, it doesn't feel dead, it doesn't feel awful. Now, I was swinging at 115 miles an hour on that last swing. We'll talk a little bit more about swing speeds and what we're going to test, but that was 165 ball speed. That's a nice straight one, bit spinny, but so 115 club head speed and 168 ball speed. It's actually pretty good. So as I test this driver out against an elite competitor, there's no point swinging this at my full speed. This isn't designed for my kind of swing. You know, you're looking at a beginner, high handicapper, that's who's going to be buying this driver. So I'm going to try and keep my swing speed around 100 miles an hour. I'll be taking note of the good strikes and the bad strikes, compiling that data, and then seeing which driver comes out on top. Which driver do you think I should put this up against, Jacob? Callaway?
Rogue?
Yeah. Let's go best.
Okay.
Let's go elite.
Yeah.
Let's go elite. Okay. So let's have a look at the data from these shots. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually hitting the Mazzell driver better than the Callaway. The difference between them in looks and in feel and in everything was ridiculous. And you won't be surprised to hear that the Callaway won. However, the difference between them wasn't as extreme as you might imagine. So I managed to keep my swing speeds relatively similar, just over 100 miles an hour. The ball speeds off the Callaway was 145 miles an hour, whilst the Moselle was 144.9, so basically the same. Launch angles very similar. The Moselle was spinning a little bit more, but the carry here, 242 for the Rogue, 241 for the Moselle, with totals of 268 for the Rogue and 263 for the Moselle. So we're talking 5 yards of total distance difference. But I was striking the big white whale a little bit better. But that's not the whole story, because even though I was striking the white whale a little bit better, the dispersion that I was finding on some of the drives was interesting, let's put it that way, especially out to the right-hand side, which I didn't expect. And let's be honest, could you get over that sound? I'm really not sure. However, the price difference between these two drivers is obviously quite extreme, and the data is showing only a 5-yard difference. I was expecting the Moselle to be a lot worse than it actually was, but that is not what is controversial about this driver. So when I was looking for this driver, all I did, I typed in golf driver into the Amazon search, and top of the list, this Moselle driver came up with the bestseller icon in the picture. So I clicked in, and here it is, #1 bestseller in driver clubs. But then when I clicked into the bestsellers list, this driver was nowhere to be seen. The driver on top is the Moselle Titanium Golf Driver for men, but it's a completely different model and it's a completely different color. The only thing I can think of here is when you go into a Moselle driver listing, it literally has all the other drivers which are available. So was this like a group best-selling driver? It's not very clear, but what is also not clear is that today, only a few days after I bought this driver, there is now no longer a bestsellers list.
What are you trying to pull? Nothing.
But here's something which is on the recording, and here's something which might make it a little bit clearer. You can see here that this is a sponsored post. Now I think this is a bit sneaky. If you can promote your driver all the way up to being #1 on the bestsellers list, that carries some weight on the biggest shopping site in the world. It's sneaky and disingenuous. But despite that, the way that it looks, the way that it sounds, the fact that it developed a rattle on the golf course. You hear that? What was that, 5 shots? 5 shots and we got a rattle. Great. The data was okay for that amount of money. Would I recommend it? No, there's too many weird things going on. But as always, with these reviews, I would absolutely love to know your opinion. So get down into those comments, let us know what you think, and for more driver videos, check these out here.